Welcome to next session on discrete Fourier transforms now. In this session, I will try to explain in detail how a sequence of capital N, in this case we consider 8 points because there is no point in considering something abstract. So, how a given 8 point sequence, it can be any sequence, each of the samples is obviously can be a two dimensional. How a given sequence can be considered to be combination of some regular sequences, and as we have already stated that last time we focused on the discrete Fourier transform converts DFT converts one sequence, and the sequence is, I had said, that is in position domain into another sequence which is, we use a specific word, that is rotational speed domain. Domain is very important, it is not simple speed but rotational speed domain. So, how do we do that? I will try to explain it in very simple words. So, what does a position sequence means? The index is n and position is xn. So, for given index, the value of the sample tells the position. So, now what is the thing? We have 8 samples, each sample describes position. So, that is the given sequence. Whereas now we are converting this sequence into a rotational speed sequence. So, when I say rotational speed sequence, we have got k and we have got xk. We have got xk. So, in the given sequence xn describe position, whereas these 8 positions are now transformed or it is translated into 8 various, what we can say now, I will not say point, 8 various samples, variables or transform domain descriptors, where for each k from 0 to 7, the value of xk tells us the proportion of various rotational, various points which rotate at certain given regular speeds. I am slowly repeating once again. The original domain sequence is describing us, for every index it is giving position. So, what is ultimate is 8 positions are there. So, if we get a total picture of, so how a total sequence is captured by me, if a question asks, a total sequence is captured by me on a 2D plane by putting points and at the top of the, near the point giving position number. So, position number is third dimension, the position is described by 2 dimensions. So, when I look position and position number, my eyes can capture the information on the 2D plane. I am able to correlate the sequence number or index number. So, entire picture is in front of me, that is the given signal. Now, this given sequence I am assuming that it is comprised of. So, what we are transforming at? We are transforming in the speed domain. So, in position domain, directly on a 2D plane, a complex number gives me direct position, and I specify 8 complex numbers or 8 two-dimensional numbers to describe 8 positions. The same, one thing is very clear, In transformation, I am neither adding new information nor removing any information. So, it is in any way stating same thing in different manner. So, just means you might have got some puzzles. In puzzles, some questions are asked. By answering those questions, you get the actual answer. So, actual answer is same, and various questions try to tell various features, and by describing the features you get the answer. So, here what are the features now? If I have got, now listen carefully, if I have got capital N point sequence, then I can, this is the discrete Fourier transform. As explained in the last lecture, you can have your own transforms as well. Only thing is that whether others will follow it like we are following discrete Fourier transform today or not, that is a big question. So, now let us focus on, instead of designing new transform as of today, let us focus on what is there in our syllabus, what is there which is worldwide accepted is discrete Fourier transform. So, the rationale of discrete Fourier transform is any sequence of capital N points, 8 in this case, is described by weighted sum or weighted, I will use the word weight later on. It is described by a sum of 8 the total length of the sequence which I am going to describe is 8, it is 8 point sequence. One 8 point sequence can be and it is random, there is no restriction, any only thing that the value should be finite. So, x0 to x7 can possess any two dimensional values. So, any given sequence can be described as summation of rotating points with regular speeds. And how many are such rotating points? 8 rotating points. To have clarity, I change the meaning of instruction and once again tell in Marathi. दिलेला कुठलाही 8 पॉइंटचा सिक्वेन्स हा 8 अशा वेगवेगळ्या सिक्वेन्सेसची सम म्हणून मी प्रूव्ह करू शकतो की ज्यामध्ये प्रत्येक हा 8 पैकी सिक्वेन्स जो आहे तो एका दिलेल्या स्पीडनं एका दिलेल्या सर्कलवर रोटेट होणारा पॉइंटचा सिक्वेन्स आहे. आणि त्यात आणखीन एक गोष्ट, दिलेल्या सर्कलवर दिलेल्या स्पीडनं म्हणजे एखाद्या पॉइंटचं पूर्ण डिस्क्रिप्शन, रोटेशनच्या पॉइंटचं पूर्ण डिस्क्रिप्शन झालं का, वेदर नाउ आय मेक अ स्टेटमेंट, a point is rotating with given speed. When I say given speed, it is either positive or negative, it is clockwise or anti-clockwise. To clarify it further, I state it fully. A point which is rotating at a given anti-clockwise speed on a circle of given radius, whether the rotating point is fully described for obviously 8 points. Not yet, because there can be multiple such rotating points which rotate with the same speed on the same circle. Why? Because the starting position or where the point was at n equal to 0, starting position is also required. So, what fully describes a rotating point on a circle? What is required? Number 1, speed, number 2, radius, and number 3, starting position. So, speed is a real number, radius is a real number, starting position is also a real number, is angle. If we look radius and starting position together, it is a complex number which we can say magnitude and angle. So, I can say that any sequence can be described as summation of 8 sequences, each of them is rotating point with some speed on some circle from some position. Now, when I say that on some circle and from some position, now instead the same thing I can describe in different way. A point rotating on some circle with some speed with some starting position, I can also say that it is nothing but a multiplication by some number to a point which is rotating with the same speed on unit circle. म्हणजे एका दिलेल्या स्पीडनं स्टार्टिंग पोझिशन 1-0 पासून सुरू होणारा आणि युनिट सर्कलवर फिरणारा पॉइंट हा बेसिक पॉइंट जर का धरला तर त्याला आपण एका कॉन्स्टंटने मल्टिप्लाय केलं तर त्या कॉन्स्टंट कसा आहे, कॉन्स्टंट रिअल असेल तर फक्त रेडियस वाढते, कॉन्स्टंट कॉम्प्लेक्स असेल तर रेडियस वाढते, स्टार्टिंग अँगल बदलतो. आय विल गिव्ह एन एक्झाम्पल बिकॉज दॅट इज द क्रक्स ऑफ DFT अँड DFT इज क्रक्स ऑफ एंटायर सिग्नल प्रोसेसिंग. So I don't mind even if we spend few more lectures. So what we can think is that is extremely important discussion which I think we means only thing is that since it's not one-to-one meeting, I don't know what is your perception. So when I say we, it is myself certainly and you hopefully. So when we talk about, let us talk about now, we will give again a very well example. So let the speed be, normally the speed is 2 pi upon n into k, where k is starting from 0 to n minus 1. So if k is 1 and n is 8, it becomes 2 pi by 8, means it is pi by 4. It is pi by 4. Now positive speed means anti-clockwise, negative speed means clockwise. Now what is the basis, what is the fundamental rotating point? It rotates on unit circle and it starts with 1-0, means at n equal, so it is given by e raised to j omega n, not minus in this case, e raised to j omega n. In this case omega is equal to pi by 4. So at n equal to 0, where it is at n equal to 0, the value is 1. So it is at n equal to 0. N equal to 0. At n equal to 1, what happens? E raised to j pi by 4n. So the point is n equal to 1 here. 1. Then 2. I am drawing it fully. 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So this is a rotating sequence of 8 points. This is a rotating sequence of 8 points which rotates on unit circle and starts with the position, it is the initial position, x axis 1, the point is 1, 0. On x axis it is 1, on y axis it is 0. This is the given point. Now after this given point, what we can move further? We can move further with a very simple observation that if, so this is the base sequence, we can say some, I can give any subscript, not necessarily a specific subscript. So let us give, we should not use x because you may confuse with x there. So we give some s n, or we say basis n. So if I give this as a sequence Bn, where Bn is a sequence which rotates on unit circle at a speed of, at an angular speed of pi by 4 radians per sample and starts from 1, 0. So this is Bn. So now if what I am trying to stress once again is, if I multiply this Bn, by some constant k, what is going to happen? If I multiply this Bn by some constant k, what is going to happen? That if k is 2, what will happen? If k is 2, in that case the circle radius will be changed and circle radius would be 2. So the points will rotate this. So when I keep this constant a real number, the radius will increase and angle will remain same. So this is a point rotating on a different circle with same speed, with same angular starting position. But now instead of that, if k I use as 1 plus j, if I use k can be a complex number. So if that is a weight, what I am saying, that is the rotating point can be multiplied by some weight. So if I multiply by 1 plus j, what is 1 plus j? Multiplying it by 1 plus j means what? I am multiplying it by root 2 and angle pi by 4. So what does it mean? Multiplying it by, so a basic rotating point on unit circle with starting position 1 0, when it is multiplied by a complex number, what happens is that its radius of the circle changes and starting position also changes. So 1 plus j into e raised to j omega n would be a point which will rotate on a circle of radius root 2 and its starting position at 0 would be somewhere here. The radius is root 2, radius will increase than 1. So there will be change in radius get multiplied. It may be either more or less also. If I have 0.1 plus 0.2 j, radius will be less. So radius is scaled and angle is shifted. So root 2 is the multiplication to unit circle radius, that is 1 into root 2. So this is new radius and this is starting angle. So the point will rotate on circle of radius root 2 at the angular frequency of this itself, omega by 4, sorry, pi by 4. So this pi by 4, you don't confuse. Otherwise, I could have taken different numbers also. Then the next point would be here, 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 and so on. So this is the concept of the multiplying the basic rotating point on unit circle. So discrete Fourier transform is nothing but a summation. Any sequence can be considered to be comprised of summation of 8 rotating points, because here the length is 8. Any 8 point sequence is summation of 8 different rotating points, each of which rotates on different circle from different starting position with a frequency or angular speed which is given as 0, 2 pi by 8, 2 pi by 8 into 2, 2 pi by 8 into 3, and so on. So what I can say, I will try to elaborate it in very detailed manner. So yesterday only we had discussed this matrix, that is the transformed domain thing, x0, x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, x6, and x7. This I want to extract by multiplying the given sequence. Now the given sequence, listen very carefully what I am doing. The given sequence xn. So, what we have? We have xn. To have xn means what? 8 different points are there on 2D plane. So, what I say is x in array processing, we should be very much particular about symbols, various brackets and subscripts, x0, x1 up to x7. Bracket subscripts are very important. Now, I claim, I'm making claim. What I claim? I claim that whatever sequence you give, I have with me a sequence x0n, a sequence x1n. Remember look very carefully, x0n. So, it is a different sequence, x1 a different sequence, x2n. I am writing it very clearly without any ambiguity. I am writing everything. We have ample time. So, there is no need of running out of time. I will keep sufficient space also. So, this is again I am bombarding on you every time. This is one 8-point sequence. This is given to me. What I am claiming? This given sequence is summation of 8 different 8-point sequences. They sum together. Then you will say, what new is there? Can you construct this? Obviously yes. What you can do is simply, so what we want? So, these are 8 numbers and I want these to be 8 numbers, these to be 8 numbers, these to be 8 numbers. So, 64 numbers. What we want? This x0, that is the 0th sample of given sequence, should be sum of 0th sample of all sequences, all the 8 sequences. First sample of given sequence is summation of first samples of all sequences. Then you will say, what great deal about it? What you will do? If you are asked, if nothing further is specified and only this thing is asked to you, that construct or find out 8 different sequences such that they sum to given sequence. Then what will you do? Simple one. Repeat this here and put all these sequences zeros. So, that is making fun of the entire transform concept. So, that is not the thing. What is important is this x0 sequence is having some property, this is having some property, this is having some property, this is having some property. So, these are some specific sequences. What specific sequences are? These are the, so this can be anything, but this can't be anything, this can't be anything. This is some peculiar properties there. So, what is that? Is all these are rotating points. All these are rotating points. So, what I am claiming now it is very important. Rotating points, then if you wander on a circle, you will always claim that you are rotating with different speed. First step you take of some angle, next step you take of some different, not like that. The given sequence is now claimed to be sum of 8 different points which rotate on a circle with fixed speed. So this is a sequence which rotates on some circle with some fixed speed. Speed of this is different, speed of this is different, speed of this is different. So these are the points rotating at given speeds. What are the speeds? Speeds are very important. The speeds are anti-clockwise speeds, and speeds are, so 0th subsequence, this is given sequence, these are subsequences. Given sequence is claimed to be the sum of subsequences. This subsequence rotates at an angular speed of 2 pi by n into k, or each of them rotate, each of these subsequences rotate with a speed of 2 pi by n into k. In this case n is 8, so it is pi by 4 into k. So any of the sequence which is there is rotating at an angular speed, anti-clockwise angular speed of k pi by 4 or pi by 4 k, where k runs from 0 to 7. So this sequence will rotate at the speed of pi by 4 into k, that is 0. Means that, what means what? It will not rotate. It will not rotate means all points would be constant. It can be anywhere on given circle. It can be anywhere on given circle, but constant, it will not change. This will rotate with angular speed of pi by 4. This will rotate with speed of pi by 2. This will rotate with speed of 3 pi, or 2 pi by 4 means pi by 2, 3 pi by 4. This will rotate with speed of pi. This will rotate with speed of 5 pi by 4. This will rotate with speed of 3 pi by 2, and this will rotate with speed of 6 pi by 4 is 3 pi by 2, 7 pi by 4. All these are angular speeds, this and in anti-clockwise. This is very important. So what property these subsequences should follow is that these subsequences should rotate with given speed. And where they should rotate? They can rotate on circle of any radius, and they can start with any position. I am explaining at a very slow speed. I change the meaning of instruction once again. हा दिलेला सिक्वेन्स हा 8 सबसिक्वेन्सेसची बेरीज आहे. मग दिलेला असे 8 सबसिक्वेन्सेस तयार करा की ज्यांची बेरीज दिलेला सिक्वेन्स असेल तर ते फार सोपं आहे. तुम्ही कसंही रँडमली करू शकता, पण तसं नाही आहे. तर त्यात कंडिशन काय आहे की प्रत्येक दिलेला सबसिक्वेन्स हा जो आहे तो एका सर्कलवर फिक्स्ड स्पीडनं रोटेट होणारा पॉइंटच असला पाहिजे. सो वी आर क्लेमिंग दॅट any given sequence is summation of different rotating points on different circles. Now what we mean by different circle? It will rotate on unit circle and multiplied by some constant, means it will rotate on given circle. So what we can have, this x0n, when I say it is rotating on unit circle, what I will do, I will have something outside. I will have something outside, and then it would be nothing but a rotating point on unit circle. So this is this. So each I claim that a rotating point on unit circle. So when it is rotating point on unit circle, what it is? It is rotating with 0 speed, starting at 1 0. So all are 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 and 1. All points are 1 1 1 1, and what I write it separately. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 and 1, and here I will multiply it by some multiplier. That multiplier I give some number. Let I give some number as capital K we have used, so K we should not use. Let us use some P subscript 0, where this P subscript 0 can be any constant. It can be real, it can be imaginary, it can be complex. So what I am again repeating, you may see, you may find it why I am repeating, because that is something which everybody must know. x0n, it is not a fixed sequence, but what is fixed? That it should rotate with 0 speed is fixed. Listen very carefully. Each of these sequences is not fixed sequence, but each of these sequences is expected to rotate at some fixed speed. So speed is fixed. What is different? The circle on which it should rotate and the point on which the point on the circle where it should start is different. So essentially this is the sequence which should rotate with 0 speed. What we mean by 0 speed? And on unit circle and from 1 0, it is called as, this sequence is e raised to j omega is 0 n, e raised to j 0 n. So what this would be? E raised to j, what is the angle? Pi by 4 n, and this gets multiplied by P1. What this third would be? E raised to j 2 pi by 4, this is pi by 2n. This gets multiplied by P2. So the inside terms are, these are the terms which are rotating at given speed on unit circle. So this is e raised to j 0 n, or so what this bracket is? This bracket is e raised to j pi by 4 k. So this entire bracket I can say as e raised to j pi by 4 k into n. So this is the speed, e raised to j some speed into n is a rotating point. If this is 0, it will be constant. So what is x0n? x0n is some constant into this. What is x1n? Some other constant into this. So I hope that you understood something, that is, I can write now this xn as, I can express this xn this xn is expressed as a multiplier P0, I am using the term P0 into e raised to j it is pi by 4, but to be very precise, it is 2 pi by 8, or we can say n also, there is no problem, or right, we can generalize it as n into k into n. So this is x0 n plus this k is now here 0. So we can say into 0 n plus p1 e raised to j 2 pi by n into 1 n plus p2 into e raised to j 2 pi by n into 2n. So in general, I can say that I should not restrict myself to only 8. I can expand whatever I like. So I can say that my xn would be summation, this k is from 0, 1 to up to n minus 1, this p subscript k, or I can say bracket k also, it is not so important, p k e raised to j 2 pi by n k n. So my xn is this. Given sequence is expressed as summation of these sequences. Now the question would be, how I will find out these values? How I will find out these values? So these values I will find out if I multiplied by its exact conjugate by e raised to minus this. In that case, what I will get is, so this is given sequence is summation of n subsequences, and each of the n subsequence is nothing but rotating point in anticlockwise direction with given speed and starting at a given radius, starting at a given angle on a circle of given radius. So this tells us the radius and angle, and this tells us the speed. This tells us the speed. Now the question is how to find out this. So this is actually inverse DFT we discussed first, because to understand DFT, because the DFT tells us that I am transforming the given sequence into rotating points, which summation of rotating points. So what is different? If the input sequence is different, then the weights with which different rotating points add together is different. Weights with which different rotating points add together is different. So I will explain it once again further. Now what we were given? We were given the formula of xk. We started in the book. We started with DFT from DTFT. What was the formula? Xk is equal to summation n equal to 0 to capital N minus 1 xn e raised to minus j 2 pi by n kn minus 2 pi by n kn. Now just writing each time e raised to j 2 pi upon something, writing each time e raised to j or minus j 2 pi by n, that is somewhat clumsy. A new short form which is very much useful in DFT is Wn. What is Wn? Wn is e raised to minus j 2 pi by n. So Wn, otherwise you will find that many students do not also understand what is Wn. Because Wn is W subscript n, some symbol, what it does corresponds to also is not known to many. So Wn is this. If n is 4, it is 2 pi by, sorry, if n is 8, it is 2 pi by 8, that is pi by 4, and it is minus. So it is a point here. If capital N is 4, if capital N is 4, so this is W8. If capital N is 4, then this N is 4. 2 pi by 4 is pi by 2, so minus pi by 2, so it is W4. If N is 2, e raised to minus j 2 pi by 2 is e raised to minus j pi, it is W2. There is no point in W1 because there is no sequence at all. Then if N is 16, in that case 2 pi by 16 is 2 pi by 16 is pi by 8. So it is W16, it is W32 and so on. So this, remember, this Wn is a point on unit circle in the second quadrant, sorry, in the fourth quadrant. It is point on unit circle in the fourth quadrant with x positive and y negative, that is horizontally positive, vertically negative. In the fourth quadrant, it is the point. So on units, it is lying on unit circle. So this we can use it all the time. So e raised to minus e raised to j 2 pi by n is Wn raised to minus 1. So it is Wn raised to minus 1. So we can say Wn raised to minus k, minus 1 raised to k, and this we can say Wn e raised to so this is the formula for DFT. This is the formula for DFT. Now what will happen if now listen carefully. What DFT extracts? DFT formula is xk is equal to summation n equal to 0 to capital N minus 1 xn Wn raised to kn. Xn Wn raised to kn. So I am trying to have weighted sum of the given sequence where weights are the rotating points. Weights are the rotating points. What that gives me, ultimately that is important. So I am presuming that my given sequence itself, that this is what we have presumed without discussing inverse DFT. So this given sequence is assumed to be summation of multiple sequences, like this. So if I put this inside, so I am trying my level best, it is, I will not claim that you will understand everything in one lecture. So this is equal to summation n equal to 0 to capital N minus 1. This I write again as xn is this sum, summation k equal to 0 to capital N minus 1 pk wn raised to minus kn into wn raised to kn. wn raised to kn. So, what it is? So, straight away you will say that wn gets cancelled, it is double summation of pk, is it like that or something else? Here what is the problem is that this is summation, this is summation n kn, and inside that it is not appropriate to use the same k once again. So, you are having this basic formula, given sequence n, given sequence DFT xk is summation of given sequence multiplied by its weighted sum of given sequence, but the given sequence is itself summation over k. So, what is the conclusion? Conclusion should be now you should use something other than k, you can use m, then it is all right. Pm, this m, this you can use. Now, in this case if you multiply, so what will happen? There will be something, this wn raised to minus mn into wn raised to minus into kn. So, what that would be? I am just trying to give some thinking stuff for you. So, wn raised to minus mn into wn raised to kn, what that would be? Wn, n will be common and k minus m and k minus m. So, what that will give us? When k is equal to m, they will cancel and will become 1. When k is equal to m, they will cancel and it will become 1. And when k is not equal to m, when k is not equal to m, it would be wn raised to something, and that sum together will become 0. So, ultimately when k is equal to m, so these two will have some relationship, these two will have some relationship. I would like to explain in a different context. This is called as a filtering arrangement also. Let us try to put it in different way. There is a given sequence. Now, I want to find out what is the constant component in given sequence. What I want to find out? What is the constant component in given sequence? So, what is the procedure to find out the constant component in given sequence? So, xn, I will try to use some example. Let xn be a real sequence, it does not matter. It is 8-point sequence. Xn is equal to 1 2 1 1 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 1 1 3 4 5 6. So what I do, I want to extract the constant component in it. Then I want to extract a component which is rotating at an angle of pi by 4 in it. Then I want to extract a component which is rotating at an angle of 2 pi by 4 in it. Then I want to extract the component which is rotating at an angle of 3 pi by 4 in it. Likewise, I want to extract a component which is rotating at 7 pi by 4 in it. So you may have idea of inverse filtering. In this, I had already stated that I am having x0n, which is a sequence which is constant, plus x1n, which is sequence rotating at an angle of pi by 4, plus x2n, which is rotating at an angle of pi by 2, plus x3n, plus up to x7n. x7n. Now listen carefully. आता ह्या सिक्वेन्सला आय एम चेंजिंग मीडियम ऑफ इन्स्ट्रक्शन. हा सिक्वेन्स म्हणजे ह्या 8 सिक्वेन्सची सम. आता मी ह्या सिक्वेन्सला काही वेट्सनी गुणणार आणि त्या वेट्स कसे मी ठेवणार आहे. पहिल्यांदा x0 काढते वेळी व्हॉट आय डू, व्हॉट इज x0, समेशन xn into wn raised to n equal to 0 to 7 wn raised to k0 n is equal to 1. म्हणजे मी काय करतोय तर कॅपिटल x0 काढताना मी बाकी काहीही करत नाही आहे, तर सगळे जे नंबर्स आहेत ते ॲड करतोय. 8चे 8 नंबर ॲड केले, 8चे 8 नंबर ॲड केले, तर त्याचं त्या DC व्हॅल्यू किती आहे, ॲव्हरेज आहे. फक्त मी ॲव्हरेज काढत नाही, ॲव्हरेज काढत नाही म्हणजे ओव्हरऑल सगळं 8 पट होईल. म्हणजे समजा मला 5 विषयात मार्क पडले तर पर्सेंटेज काढायचं आहे. पर्सेंटेज काढता मी ॲड करतो, 5ने डिवाइड करतो 100 मार्क असेल तर, किंवा पर्सेंटेज काढणार नाही तर मी काय करतो 500 पैकी होतात. सो टोटल म्हणजे ॲव्हरेजचे 5 पट. सो टोटल रिफ्लेक्ट्स ॲव्हरेज ऑब्वियसली विथ ए मल्टिप्लाइड कॉन्स्टंट. सो जर मी x0 हा घेताना काय केलं, सगळ्याची सम घेतली डायरेक्टली, तर त्याच्यातनं काय x0 काय इंडिकेट करतो, तर x0 असं इंडिकेट करतो की ज्या एकूण सिग्नलमध्ये ॲव्हरेज व्हॅल्यू म्हणजे न बदलणारा कंपोनंट किती आहे. सिक्वेन्स बदलतोय, वेगवेगळ्या व्हॅल्यूज घेतोय, तर मी काय करणार त्याच्यातला ॲव्हरेज काढला आणि ॲव्हरेज भोवती बदल किती आहे. सो व्हॉट आय एम ट्राइंग टू हॅव, this is a sequence which changes at in any random manner. So what I am trying to say, a sequence is there which is randomly moving, random values are there. So I find its average. Once I find the average, it is one feature I have extracted. Now I want to find out how it moves around the average. So as I already stated, transform is nothing different. There is no new information, there is no information lost. Only thing is that I am trying to represent same in different manner. So just having values instead of only mere values, I find their average. That average is one feature of the sequence. Only thing is that I don't divide. I don't divide. So this is average multiplied by 8. So what is x0? What is x0 of transform? It is 8 times average. So what does it mean? I again repeat, it is 8 times the constant part of the given sequence. म्हणजे दिलेल्या सिक्वेन्समध्ये एक कॉन्स्टंट पार्ट आहे की जो मी म्हणतो x0 आहे. हा x0 हा कॉन्स्टंट पार्ट, हा बदलत नाही, हा फिक्स आहे. म्हणजे ह्याच्यातल्या सगळ्या व्हॅल्यू फिक्स आहेत. ह्याच्यातल्या सगळ्या व्हॅल्यू फिक्स आहेत, त्या बदलत नाहीत. ह्या बाकीच्या बदलतात. त्या फिक्स्ड ज्या व्हॅल्यू येतात त्याच्या 8पट व्हॅल्यू 8. ही ॲव्हरेज आहे. सो x0n इज ॲव्हरेज ऑफ दिस. म्हणजे 1 2 3 आणि 4 5 आणि 3 8 आणि 12 आणि 11 23. 23 भागिले 8 ॲव्हरेज आहे. x0 हा 8 × 23/8 म्हणजे 23 डायरेक्ट सम येतो. नाव what next I do? Now this is very important. What x1 represents? What I will keep it aside here. x0 represents summation n equal to 0 to 7 xn. This is important. What x1 represents is summation n is equal to 0 to 7 xn wn raised to n. W raised to kn, k is 1, so n. So what I am doing, this is very important, try to listen. xn into wn raised to n. xn into wn raised to n. So what I am doing, I am multiplying xn by weights. Now multiplying by weights, but what are the weights? Rotating point. This is wn is a point in 4th quadrant. Tell me what I am doing. So what wn raised to n? Wn raised to n is rotating point in clockwise direction. At n equals to, it is here, 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 here. It is rotating like this. So what it is? Multiplying this by a rotating point and taking average. So this is something I want you to enhance your level of thinking. मगाशी काय घेतलं मी? डायरेक्ट ॲव्हरेज घेतलं. डायरेक्ट ॲव्हरेज घेतलं म्हणजे सगळ्यांची बेरीज घेतली. आता मी काय करतोय? आता मी असं करतोय की त्याला क्लॉकवाइज π/4 नी रोटेट होणाऱ्या पॉइंटनं मल्टिप्लाय करून त्याची सम घेतोय. सो व्हॉट आय एम एक्झॅक्टली डुईंग? सो आय मस्ट नो व्हॉट इज मीनिंग ऑफ धिस. मीनिंग ऑफ धिस इज नाउ can be well explained by above realization. So now we look at this. So what this given sequence is summation of these subsequences. This is a constant subsequence. याच्यामध्ये x0n हा 23/8च आहे for all values of n. So all values are average. So x0n हा काय आहे? x0n कसा असणार आहे? 23/8, 23/8, 23/8 23/8 असा. हा x1n कसा असणार आहे? हा x1n हा असा असणार आहे की something which I said as P1, so this is P0. So x0n is P0, 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 all are 23/8. What is x1n? x1n is P1 multiplied by rotating point with angle pi/4 in anti-clockwise direction. तो म्हणजे तो असणार आहे Wn raised to काय येईल तो -n. कळते का बघा? Why -n? What is Wn? Wn is e raised to, we should use W8 because n is 8 here. So n is 8 here. So what is W8? W8 is e raised to -j 2π/8 म्हणजे e raised to -j π/4 आणि हा पॉइंट असा रोटेट होतोय म्हणजे W8 is e raised to -j π/4 आणि हा पॉइंट रोटेट होतोय e raised to j π/4n. मग e raised to j π/4n आणि W8 म्हणजे e raised to -j π/4 म्हणजे W8 raised to n. So x1n is a point. What is x? So what is x0n? x0n is P0. What is x1n? P1 W8 raised to -n. What is x2? P2 W8 raised to काय येईल -2n and like this. So when I multiply by this, when I find x1, in that I multiply xn by Wn raised to 8. So I multiply each of them. I multiply this also. I multiply this also by W8 raised to n. And when I sum together, this P0 is constant. So what is main thing, that is the crux, is summation of n is equal to 0 to 7. If it is only W8 raised to n, it is always 0 because all these are symmetric points on unit circle. So what is this xn? Now this xn is P0 into nothing plus P1 W8 raised to -n plus P2 W8 raised to -2n and so on. So if I rewrite again, I know that it is somewhat complex, it takes time to understand. So it is P0 W8 raised to n plus n equal to 0 to 7 P1 W8 raised to -n into W8 raised to n plus n equal to 0 to 7 P2 W8 raised to -2n W8 raised to n and so on. So what will happen? These are constants, these don't depend upon n, so that will come out, that will come out, that will come out. And what will remain inside? So this would be P0 summation W8 raised to n plus what this would be? P1 summation what? W8 raised to -n, W8 raised to n is summation 1 and obviously n is equal to 0 to 7, n is equal to 0 to 7 plus what this would be? N is equal to 0 to 7, P2 will come out n equal to 0 to 7 W8 raised to -1 -n like this. So everywhere there is this summation of W8 raised to something for all n, that will be 0 because that is summation of symmetric points, and only this P1 n from 0 to 7 summation 1 is 8. So what I get? It would be 8 times. So x1 would be 8 times p1. So what I get so when I get what is xk? Xk is 8 times the value of the constants which multiply the different. This you will not see anywhere. It is not so simply told. Different rotating points on unit circle which comprise the given sequence. So what is xk? K is equal to 0 to 7. x0 म्हणजे काय? x0 म्हणजे न रोटेट होणारा जो कंपोनंट आहे दिलेल्या सिक्वेन्स मधला त्याची 8 पट म्हणजे x0. x1 म्हणजे काय? π/4 अँग्युलर स्पीडनं रोटेट होणारा एक पॉइंट आहे. तो पॉइंट युनिट सर्कल त्याला मल्टिप्लाय करणारी काहीतरी कॉन्स्टंट म्हणजे the given sequence is presumed to be summation of multiple rotating points. Each of the rotating points rotate with speed 0, π/4, 2π/4, 3π/4, 4π/4, 5π/4, 6π/4, 7π/4 यांना तो रोटेट होतो. आणि अशा कुठल्या सर्कलवर आणि कुठल्या स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट रोटेट होतो त्याचा एक मल्टिप्लायर आहे. म्हणजे युनिट दिलेल्या सिक्वेन्समध्ये दिलेल्या स्पीडनं युनिट सर्कलवर होणारे रोटेटिंग पॉइंट्सला मल्टिप्लाय करून म्हणजे वेगवेगळ्या स्पीडनं युनिट सर्कलवर रोटेट होणारे पॉइंट्स हे त्याचे सब सिक्वेन्सेसची कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक पॉइंट्स. म्हणजे दिलेल्या सिक्वेन्समध्ये अशा ह्या 8 स्पीडनं रोटेट पॉइंट असतात. पण कुठला पॉइंट किती प्रमाणात आहे म्हणजे त्याचं वेट. तर एक कॅपिटल x0 काय सांगतो तर दिलेल्या सिक्वेन्समध्ये रोटेट न होणारा म्हणजे कॉन्स्टंट असणारा कंपोनंट किती आहे त्याची 8 पट व्हॅल्यू म्हणजे xk. दिलेल्या सिक्वेन्समध्ये π/4 या अँग्युलर स्पीडनं दिलेल्या सिक्वेन्समध्ये π/4 या अँग्युलर स्पीडनं अँटी क्लॉकवाईज रोटेट होणारा कंपोनंट किती प्रमाणात आहे त्याची 8 पट म्हणजे x1. सो दी xk's are nothing but the figures which tell me the proportion with which the corresponding rotating points are present in my sequence or the proportion with which the rotating points on unit circle at different speeds be added together so as to generate the original sequence. This is, I think, the simple most description of DFT. Otherwise, one can start, if you go in the book, you will find there is there is no need to explain all these things. We are spending 3 hours. Then you will say DFT, if the proportion with which it is then the syllabus is to be considered, then simply nothing, xk is equal to summation n equal to 0 to capital N, xn e raised to minus j 2 pi by n raised to kn, and where this e raised to minus j 2 pi by 4 is called as wn. So, wn raised to kn. They are my trains, and I have seen student generations together who still do not know what is wn. They simply consider wn is some symbol. What is wn? wn is a point in fourth quadrant on unit circle which subtends an angle of minus 2 pi by n below x axis. So, this is something which I tried to simplify. I am aware that it is not fully simplified. In next lecture, we will simplify it further.